Okay, welcome back to another Computercraft devlog thing on my 2D game. So, this time we have, this time we have a new map. This is actually a reused map from older days. It's got some changes to it, but you haven't seen it yet, so it's new for you. So this is kind of like a space on the moon or something. So this is out in space. You'll die if you go out there. That's actually something I've added, so I can open this door. Well, you can't see because I just died. Yeah, but I have some items over here, which I've made it very easy to place items now, so I don't have to manually find everything. I mean, sure, I still have to find like the coordinates, right? I added a map thing, so it tells me exactly where on the table the coordinates is pointing to, but that doesn't matter. I added a new item, the spacesuit. It doesn't really do anything into the world. It's more just there to let you know. But it lets you venture out here without dying, which is awesome. And obviously I have this door. It wasn't that hard. I'm really just changing all those tiles. But if I use my dev tool to remove my item, I will die. It looks like this because normally you'd be able to see the map. Like, when I do that, see, I died and I can see the map. But that's not the coolest thing that I did. I really just copied the map from another 2D game that was doing basically the same thing as this. A much earlier, dumbed down version of this, and also not in Computercraft. So I didn't have all the cool colors and stuff. I didn't have items in that one though, so that's pretty cool. The items are procedurally placed. They're placed on startup, so all you do to add an item, let's look at the code actually for this. All you have to do to add an item is go to this table, find whatever chords you want to place it on. So what I did is I just went to wherever I wanted to place something. So let's say here, I do position, it tells me 305. 305. So I just come over here, 305, I add it. Darn it. 305. What do I want? Let's add another spacesuit here. Or, really I can add anything, but it won't do anything, so I can add I don't know. Test item. It doesn't even have to be uppercase, like everything else. So I go in here, color game. There you go. It's there. There's a new item there. It's placed on startup. I have found a test item. I don't want to pick it up, so I'll just leave that. Or I can pick it up, and now I have a test item. It's very easy to add stuff, like that. Let's just add another space suit. I'll look at the code. I'll explain the code stuff I added. If I add another spacesuit and I grab this one, I can no longer pick up this spacesuit. So if you can't pick up an item, you already have it, right? But I can pick up everything else. It's really all that's been added. The walls I keep going into this, but all of these walls are existing, cannot be broken by the drill. That's just so that you don't break out of the map and go somewhere. But if I were to place a block using the placer, then it does work there. Another side effect. Frick. Oh, I just exited on the computer. It doesn't matter. I'm not going in there anymore. So that's cool. Makes it a lot easier for me to add items everywhere. So the new stuff is obviously items. So this is what places the items. So basically what it does, it looks at every single thing until it gets to the end. So if it gets to the end, it ends. Of course, it stops. But it goes to the map. It changes the tile to a 4, which is a question mark. And changes the color to 4, which is also the light blue. And it goes to the next item, which is 2 over, because we don't want to be looking at this expected number. That would be an error. So that all this does is make it so it looks like there's an item there, which is nice. That just means I don't have to place it around manually. I could place it around manually. If I placed an item right there, this would turn into a 4. So the item check is what actually gives you the items. It's messy. There's a lot of stuff I threw in there as an afterthought. So again, not good code. As long as it works, I don't care. At some point, I will probably go back and fix it. So don't start writing comments. Don't start that. This basically just checks if you're on the item. It checks to see if you already have the item that you're standing on. So first of all, it checks if you're standing on any item. If you are, it checks if the item you're standing on is already in your inventory. If it is, it skips it all and ends. But if it isn't, then it prompts you with the yes or no question. If you pick no, it'll just end. Do display, just because for whatever reason it blanks out. I could probably fix that, but I don't care. And it just ends. Because the idea is if you're standing on an item, you can't be standing on any other items. Because that's not how it works. Now, if you were standing on multiple items, you'd get prompted with the first item. Then you have to wait for like... Again, it kind of just works out. So it changes that tile to 0. So it looks like there's nothing there. It also changes the color to 0, which is white. So this could be 1, but it's going to be 0. Because 0 and 1 is the same. The program reads it as white. So that's what that is for the color map. So that if you place, now I'm using the placer, which I don't know why you add that to the space map, but if it's there, right, if there's an item like that, then whenever you place it, it'll be white. Just because that's the default color for everything you place, or it should be. And then it basically sends that item into the shadow realm, or outside of the map, where you should never be able to go. So it sets that the position. So if I were to grab a spacesuit, it would change this number to -1. So you would never actually be able to activate it. It's kind of a cheap way of doing it, but it works. So again, I don't care. Um, Event planner, yes. Alright, so P is the player position on the map, so if it was 0, then it would be a number 1, okay? And then it checks whether or not you're on the one of 2 of the open things. So if you're on 4 coordinates 4-1 or 1-9, changes, it deletes the door basically, and vice versa for that. And if you do not have a spacesuit, and you are in this zone or this zone, which is outside of the main base thing, then it sets this value alive to false, which it just kills you. Otherwise, if this specific tile of the map is gone, so if there's nothing there, and the zone, if you're in the zone, so basically if you're in that little bay, or if you're inside of the base, then you die. That's what that does. And this is what ends it if you're dead. This is a test thing. Just more another admin command, really. Really complicated way of just setting that to you died. Really. Real fast. Without deleting the map. That's really all there is to it. Again, probably terrible code, but that is going to be probably the end of this episode. I just want to test this one out. This idea I just had to break my game automatically. Just make everything worse. So if I grab a placer and place that there, then I should be able to remove my spacesuit and I will not die. Because technically this block is there. That's stupid. That's one way to break my game. But then I'll open it again. Yeah. That's gonna be it for this devlog thing. I added items. In the future, I'll use the system, this whole thing. Did I break that? No. I'll use that to be able to drop items, but that's gonna be hard because of the way everything works. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of how that's gonna be annoying to do, but that is going to be the end of this devlog. Please subscribe. If not, I will send you outside of this map to coordinates -1, -1. Actually, the items get sent all the way up here, technically. Not down here. They get sent up here. Right behind this one. Anyways, see you in the next devlog, hopefully. Again, please subscribe. Maybe like. Well, actually, that's asking for too much. Just subscribe. That's it. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.